This is October 17th, day 17 of Occupy Los Angeles, and you're watching Inside Out News. Today is a quiet day here at Occupy Los Angeles at City Hall in downtown LA. 40 of the protesters carpooled over to the city of Long Beach, where Occupy Long Beach is currently taking place. Over the weekend, protesters clashed with police at Lincoln Park in the city of Long Beach. The Los Angeles Times reported today that the occupation of Long Beach ended on Sunday with these clashes. However, Occupy Long Beach's website and Facebook page are reporting that there will be a General Assembly today at 6 p.m. in Lincoln Park, and that the police have surrounded the park. They are in riot gear and are shining very bright lights into the park in an attempt to prevent the protesters from comfortably sleeping in the park. We will report on any more information that we get in regards to Occupy Long Beach, and hopefully we'll be able to spend a day there, assuming that the occupation continues through the week. On Saturday, during the International Day of Action here at City Hall, we had a chance to interview some of the protesters about President Obama's attempts to use the occupation movement as a way to attack Republicans, especially presidential candidate Mitt Romney. We asked the protesters if they felt that this was a good thing for the occupation movement or if they saw this as some sort of exploitation. Here's what some of the protesters had to say.
Well, I think when people use a movement like this as leverage, especially political leverage, it feels very deceptive in a way. And I actually hadn't heard that. I'm sort of removing myself from this mainstream politics, especially after just being a part of this movement. But it's sort of disheartening to hear Obama using this to have some political leverage so that he can feel like he's a part of this, when in reality he's actually what, for the most part, I think people are standing up against, at least his principles. The man himself, I think a lot of people feel connected with him, but what he's actually been putting forward has been sort of what this is about.
So do you think that the president is trying to exploit this type of movement? Do you think he may legitimately care about the people here and actually, if he's reelected, might actually do something that would meet some of the demands of the people who are occupying across the country?
Yeah, I can't say for sure if I think he is exploiting this movement, but politically, obviously, is exploiting it for his own movement up and down in polls or whatever. But I do think that he does feel connected with this people's movement, but he's like enmeshed. I mean, he's brought us into wars that we shouldn't be in. He's supported this economic system that is obviously hurting millions of people, and it's something that to me it feels like we're being exploited by him, actually, the more and more I think about it. Yeah.
I like the fact that we're not left or right, and that we're not pigeonholed into anything. So I think to try for any group to kind of jump on and say this is ours really isn't right, because there's so many different opinions.
How about you?
Well, I think whether it's Obama or the Democrats, Republicans, it doesn't matter. I think any of the groups should use this movement for change, not to actually pit one party against another, but to say, hey, look, there are some real concerns there about joblessness, about health care, about education. Let's use this, let the president use this to make change within his own party and to, as the leader of the party, change for the nation. That'd be great.
I can't talk for anybody other than myself, but in my opinion, this doesn't have anything to do with what anybody in government does. This is kind of a bunch of people talking out against corporations, mainly against Wall Street, against very specific things. We're not offering solutions. We're making people in Washington know about it. If they want to react to that and do whatever they want to do, and solutions kind of happen, I'm not going to complain about that. I don't think anyone will. If you're asking me right now, would I be angry if, somebody uses this in a bad way? Yes, if it's offensive, but I can't comment on that because I haven't actually seen anybody doing that.
Tomorrow at 4 p.m., occupiers will be joining the United Teachers of Los Angeles in a march over to the Los Angeles Unified School District headquarters, where they will attempt to reclaim and occupy the school district for what they say the 99%. The SEIU will also be marching from Olvera Street over to City Hall. They say that they will have at least 400 active members from the SEIU joining about 50 occupiers in the march. This ends our broadcast for tonight. This is Margot Paez signing off for Inside Out News. We will see you tomorrow, and good night.